Okay, in this chapter, we are going to learn about JavaScript variables. So in JavaScript, whatever you want to store, any data that you want to store, you store it in a variable. And when declaring a variable, we have three ways of doing it. We have var, let, and const. So variables, let's say you want to store your name, your first name and your second name. So you will declare it like let's, then what's the container that you want to store the variable your name in, that's the variable. So you can choose whatever variable you want. Let me say first name. So first name is equal to, then that your name, my name is Kingsford, so I'm putting Kingsford. So now I have stored Kingsford, which is my name, my first name. I've stored it in a variable called first name, and this keyword, which is let, is what we use to declare a variable. That's what I said here. You can use var, let, or const. Like here I could have used var or const, but let me stick with the let. I'll later explain it to you. Let. Then let me open console.log. Then I put my first name in here. So first name. Let me save it and go to our browser. You see, you have the name here. Though you could have just cleared this and type in the Kingsford straight away, like Kingsford. I've saved it. Let's go and check. Yes, it's there. Nothing is changed. But to make it easy for you to use it everywhere, so that when you store it in a variable, you can use it in many places. Let me go back to the first name and let me store second name, let, last name. So last name is equal to Opoku. So last name and first name and last name. Let's save it and check our console. Kingsford Opoku. Okay. So now we have it. You can use var instead of the let. Let me show you. Var. Let me use var for the first name and let for the last name. Let's save it and check our console. Still, it is there. So the difference between var, let, and const is that var was used in 1995 to 2015. So from 2015 they introduced let and constant. So the var is used in old browsers and might not support in the new browsers. Okay, so if you want to store anything in a variable, declare it with let. And if you want to, don't use var. I will advise you not to use var. So use let to store anything in variable. And the const is used to store something in the variable that you will not change it again. Like the first name, I will not change the first name again throughout my code, so I will use const. But if you might change the first name to maybe Samuel somewhere in the code later, then you shouldn't use const, you should rather use let. So that's it. So let's go on and do something different with it. So we are going to do some operation here, addition. So let's num1 is equal to 3, then let num2 is equal to 2, and let me do it 4. So that means whenever we say num1 we are saying 3, and whenever we say num2 we are saying 4. That is what a variable does. So instead of using 4 or 3 anywhere, you rather use num1 or num2 in place. So console.log num1 plus num2. I guess you know the answer already. So 4 plus 3 will be 7. That's what you see here. Num1 plus num2. That means num1 is 3 and num2 is 4. Let's save it and check our console. So you see 7. The answer is 7. Okay. So let's do something here. Let's results is equal to num1 plus num2. What this means is that here we are declaring a variable called result, and inside that result we are putting num1 plus num2, which is 3 plus 4. So when you add 3 plus 4, what you will get will be put inside the result. So instead of saying num1 plus num2 here, you will just say results. So whatever we get from num1 plus num2 will be saved inside, or will be stored inside results. So here we are going to show results. Let's save it and check our console. So we have it here, nothing is changed. So that's it for variables. Let's go into the next chapter.